With all the calls for a stock market crash, what happens to the stock market when new fintech allows fractional investing in 24/7, 365 trading and investing? Will we see a 100,000 Dow or a 44,000 Nasdaq? What effect will instant settlement have on the market? With the Nasdaq congratulating Ripple on their acquisition of Medico, now the Nasdaq wants to launch Bitcoin index options and is seeking SEC approval. So in this video, we're going to talk about exactly what that means. We're also discussing Tether's dominance compared to the crypto total altcoin market cap, excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum, the most likely scenario to happen next for altcoins, just simply based on facts on the charts, what to expect for Bitcoin the rest of this year, and specifically the rest of this bull run. Are you early? Are you late? Should you get out now, or should you back up the truck all the way to the bank? And is the crypto market overvalued or is it undervalued? We're going to discuss all of that in today's video. So comment 777 if you guys are feeling bullish, comment 777 if you're feeling blessed. And if you're going to become the first millionaire in your family tree, confirm it by tapping the subscribe button. Let's run it. All right, bull runners, welcome back to the channel. So looking at the crypto market, the past year is bullish. The past month, everything's down. So lots of people are leaving the crypto market. We call them fair weather fans. You know, when it starts raining a little bit in the market, they leave and then they come back when everything's in the green. They buy the tops, they get dumped on, they complain, they lose money. Whereas smart people like yourself, they weather the storm, because that's where the most action is when altcoins are down 10, 20% on the week or even on the day. This is where you get the best deals on your favorite projects. And so let's discuss what's taking place in the crypto market over the next few weeks and specifically the next few months by looking at this chart. This is the most important chart that you're going to look at all day. When comparing the USDT, that's Tether's market cap dominance percentage, to the crypto total market cap excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum, here's what we see. On the weekly stochastic RSI, you can see this right here in the middle of the screen over the last 11 instances dating back to 2018. So this is 6 years of data. A confirmed bearish cross has occurred when the K line in blue, the fast moving line, crosses below the D line, the slow moving line in orange, in the overbought territory at or above 80. Now there's actually 13 vertical dashes here. The 11 out of 11 is essentially when it was above 80. So each time this cross has been confirmed, both the K and the D line falling below 80 on a bearish cross, the USD market cap dominance has dropped and altcoins have rallied. Now what that means is just simply money flows out of stable coins like Tether, USDC as well too, you know, and all the other stable coins, and it essentially flows elsewhere. And so typically that would flow into altcoins, but to confirm if that's true or not, we brought up the altcoin market at the bottom. If we look at total 2 at the same time, we see a bullish cross occurring near the exact same moment, right? It's not 100% exact, but it's relatively close. The USDT's dominance drops, leading to an altcoin recovery. So nobody knows how big, currently right now, if I move my camera right here, nobody knows how big this altcoin rally will be, but with confluence on the weekly stochastic RSI, if we've confirmed 11 out of 11 times in the past 6 years that there's been a bearish cross on 80 or above 80, that altcoins have rallied after that, what are the odds that we go 12 for 12? Well, in my opinion, the odds are pretty high. Now, I could be wrong because, again, I'm not a financial advisor. These videos are purely for education, informational purposes only. But if you just look at the chart right here, it's looking pretty bullish. Even if we dip a little bit shorter and a little bit further down the short term, well, in the midterm, it's looking bullish because we don't need to buy the exact bottom or we don't need to sell the exact top. As long as we can get the best dollar cost average entry on the macro when certain projects are oversold, key indicator would show below 20 on the stochastic RSI for the K line and the D line. And then we could sell when we're overvalued above 80, because we don't know exactly when the market's going to reverse. Because of the Fed pivot coming up September 18th, we could see some choppiness the next few weeks. However, this is an exciting time in crypto because over the next few months, it's looking like we're going up. Now, again, I could be wrong, but the charts are showing 11 out of 11 times we've gone up in the past. What are the chances it's 12 out of 12? The odds are looking really high. So it's like going into Vegas and winning 90% of the time. Or in this case, it's been 100% of the time. You're going in now to keep it at 100. And so sure, we could be wrong 1 out of 10 times. So the fair weather fans that are exiting the markets right now has got to be the stupidest thing that they could possibly do, because the game is about to get very interesting. The Nasdaq wants to launch a Bitcoin index options and is seeking SEC approval. What does this mean? Well, this would essentially give institutions and traders a different way to hedge their exposure to Bitcoin. Bitwise's chief investment officer said in a report that it's important to have options for Bitcoin for the asset class to be fully normalized. And there is a missing piece in the liquidity picture, which would be provided by exchange traded fund options. Now, options are essentially financial instruments that allow traders to buy or sell assets like stocks, indexes, and ETFs at a set price on a specific date. So this allows institutions to hedge risks and traders to extend their buying power. So this index would track Bitcoin futures and options contracts on the CME Group's exchange platform. And the SEC currently hasn't approved any options investment instruments tied to the Bitcoin ETF approval in January because they're too busy filing Wells notices threatening to sue OpenSea. And this announcement comes as BlackRock's spot Bitcoin ETF saw its largest daily net inflow in 35 days. On August 26th, IBIT recorded $224 million in inflows, the largest since July of 2022. That's insane. So this suggests that smart investors are taking advantage of this Bitcoin pullback, and funds from other issuers like Bitwise, Fidelity, and Van Eck saw a total net outflow of about 32 million. Meanwhile, crypto investment products saw their largest inflow in 5 weeks from August 18th through the 24th, with inflows of 533 million, according to data shared by CoinShares. Now, a lot of people wonder what's the difference between the New York Stock Exchange and the Nasdaq. Well, after the New York Stock Exchange, the Nasdaq is the second largest stock exchange in the United States with a confirmed market capitalization of over $19 trillion, which is about 5.5 trillion less than the New York Stock Exchange. And the Nasdaq is a much younger organization than the New York Stock Exchange, but it was founded back in 1971. So $19 trillion, nothing to sneeze at. The Nasdaq is absolutely about ready to nuke the crypto market. So the reason why this is a big deal is because it represents another step towards mainstream adoption of cryptocurrencies by traditional financial markets. It's going to lead to increased liquidity, price stability for the markets, with benefits all investors. The biggest thing is credibility as well too, because with $19 trillion just on that exchange alone, stock market investors are going to absolutely pile in over time. Now, it's not going to be immediate, but it's going to be gradual over time, which is going to lead to a massive crossover, providing new strategy for those who invest in ETFs or ETP, exchange traded products, or exchange traded funds. And this is particularly important for institutional investors who are often restricted in how they can directly invest in or hedge crypto assets due to regulatory and operational constraints. Because if they have billions of dollars, they're not just going to load billions of dollars on a Coinbase account and buy on a market buy order. They're a little more sophisticated than that. Now let's take a pivot here and let's talk about what's taking place on XRP's market cap chart. We've been in a 7-year RSI, relative strength index trend line, in this downtrend, getting rejected from this descending resistance right here. Once this breaks, get prepared for a parabolic rally, guys. It's coming. Now, whether you've been watching these prophetic dream videos about XRP hitting $1,000, $10,000. Well, we like to take calculated risks here that are based purely on facts. And, I pray every day, and God got me into XRP years ago, not knowing that it would be the biggest test of my life to sit here and wait for this thing to take off. But obviously diversifying was the smartest move that I could have made. And then just stacking more XRP while it continues to stay suppressed within this macro symmetrical triangle has also been the smartest move, because taking calculated risks here when something is drastically undervalued is always the smartest thing to do. See, if you're just waiting for something to break out, then you start buying it, then by then you're too late. What we like to pay attention to is what companies are doing. For example, with the Nasdaq congratulating Ripple on their acquisition of Medico, Ripple has been acquiring lots of companies, making massive partnerships over the past few years, and it has not been reflected on the price chart. Now, what it looks like when a project finally starts to break out after months or even years of consolidation is somewhat similar to what happened for Defi Technologies. You guys can see this project consolidated from December of 2023 to May of 2024, which was roughly, if I were to measure this, like 160 days. That was about 5 months, and look at the explosion that took place. Imagine XRP after years. Well, I'll talk about this project at about $1. It's in at $2.21. What we look for breakouts like this is golden crosses on the chart, or the shorter time frame moving average, like the 50 SMA crosses above the 200 SMA right here on the top of the screen, which we saw take place in December of 2023 for DeFi Tech when it rose up out of this downtrend right here, and it started to break out by November. Once it broke out, we saw this golden cross take place. The price rallied up, then consolidated for another 5 months, then rallied up again, saw this massive sell-off. Now it's breaking out again. So for example, for XRP, we saw that happen last bull run. You can see the 50 SMA right here in blue turn up. It crossed above the 200 moving average. XRP broke out massively to the top of the bull run. Now, where are we right now in terms of the 50 SMA? We are below the 200. Once this starts to turn up and the 200 crosses the 50 and we see a golden cross right here, XRP's price could explode with that. Now, there's no guarantees there, obviously, but one of the main reasons why I'm keeping Defi Technologies alongside XRP on my radar this entire bull run is back in June, they announced a normal course issuer bid to buy back common shares of the company. So if we just ask ChatGPT to simplify this down for dummies like me on what this means, why is this a big deal? Well, in simple terms, so I could understand it, DeFi Technologies plans to buy back some of its own shares from the stock market. So this is called the normal course issuer bid. The company believes that its stock is undervalued, meaning the market price doesn't reflect the true worth of the business. By buying back some of its shares, the company aims to increase the value of the remaining shares for its shareholders. So they have about 69.9 million in cash to use for this purpose, and they've got approval from their board and the stock exchange to start this process. They'll buy up to 10% of their shares between June 2024 and June of 2025 over the next year, but they might stop earlier if they reach their goal. Now, they also released their financial results for Q2, achieving its strongest financial quarter to date, over 128 million Canadian dollars for the 3 and 6 months ending in June 30th of 2024. So I know you guys are always on the lookout for companies that have strong financials, strong track record, and are doing very, very well to keep on your watch list, because businesses like this is how they make money. They have Valor Asset Management that has a trading infrastructure to launch single-purpose ETPs in basket exchange-traded products. They launched their first ETP, Bitcoin Zero, in December of 2020. In terms of assets under management, they say 698 million at the time that this document was created. So DeFi Technologies is the parent company, and then Valor Inc. is the company that offers ETPs. They have 30 ETPs, over $600 million assets under management. It's the simplest way to invest in crypto. So when we talk about bridging the gap, like what I just mentioned with the Nasdaq, between traditional investing and what's happening in the crypto space, you're going to see a lot of other companies like this pop up that just do absolutely incredible. And this is one of the main companies that is just crushing it right now. They're a very well-regulated digital asset manager and issuer of global ETPs. And if we look at what single asset ETPs they have, they got Avalanche, looks like they say Binance, Cardano, Chainlink. They got Engine, Cosmos, HBAR, Near Protocol, Internet Computer, Polkadot, Solana, XRP as well too, which is massive. Uniswap, on top of their Ethereum Zero, Ethereum physical staking as well too, and then their Bitcoin ETPs. So through their DeFi infrastructure, they're running nodes for DeFi protocols, and through their partnership with Coinbase Cloud for secure node infrastructure, they have participation in DeFi networks like Pyth that Sony just partnered with, which I mentioned in my last video. And DeFi gets a fee for each transaction on the network through their specific products. They also have DeFi Ventures, from pre-seed to Series A funding. They invest in different protocols and networks that are advancing the ecosystem. Then they have different research reports for the crypto industry on top of DeFi Alpha, identifying low-risk arbitrage opportunities within the crypto ecosystem, which has generated about $133 million, or Canadian dollars, 97 million US in revenue thus far in 2024. So guys, if you're familiar with how multiples of companies work in terms of market cap versus revenue, this is insane with how much revenue they're generated versus the market cap of DEFTF, that's the ticker of DeFi Technologies. And it's still off from its all-time high of about $3.51. So that's why I'm going to keep this on my radar this entire bull run. And I want to give them a huge thank you for sponsoring this video, because that helps support value-based videos like this, because they're bridging TradeFi with innovative exposure to digital assets. Now, the coolest thing about companies like this, guys, is whatever cryptocurrencies are hot in the market, they can just simply add them to their single asset ETPs and attract a wide range of investors. For example, like HBAR, like if anything changes in any one of these projects, or if any of these projects, like what happened with Toncoin, go away, it's not necessarily going to completely wreck the investors. For example, like ICP crushing it. For example, with XRP on here, if XRP does well, they're most likely going to do well. If Near Protocol does well, they're going to do well. If Internet Computer does well. And so this is like the best diversification strategy that I've ever seen, versus just having all your eggs in one basket. Because for example, look at HBAR Foundation. They just announced that today the CEO is stepping down from his position. And they're saying the foundation's senior leadership will continue to manage day-to-day operations, ensuring that all ongoing initiatives remain on track. The HBAR Foundation remains committed to the continuous evolution, progress, and ongoing support of the Hedera ecosystem. Now, this isn't necessarily a bad thing. This is just creates uncertainty in the market. So by no means am I spreading FUD. I just want to bring you guys the news. But when stuff like this happens for a company like HBAR, then we see it initially take a hit. For example, HBAR is down 20% over the past 4 days. Now, obviously, the CEO stepping down might not be a bad thing. It might actually be a good thing because maybe they put someone in the role that can fulfill it. But when a project like that is down, if you're just holding HBAR, then you get absolutely wrecked. Over the past 130 days, HBAR is down 72%. Now, I'm still holding HBAR, don't get me wrong, and I think that this project will actually do very, very well in the bull run, but it's in a downtrend right now. And so we're coming back down to this ascending support right here. I would expect eventually for there to be a bounce off this ascending support and for us to trade back up, especially when we look at the weekly stochastic RSI. We are all the way down here at 10 on the K line, 6 on the D line. We just formed a bullish cross all the way down here. And so at some point, I would expect HBAR to bounce. Now, the key here to understand is when we see HBAR make a reversal to the upside, Valor doesn't need to rely on just one cryptocurrency like HBAR. So if HBAR underperforms in the short term, it doesn't wreck the whole company because something like Near Protocol might outperform, or XRP or Solana, for example. Solana has been outperforming virtually the whole market. So because they have this basket of ETPs, this is why they're up over 4,000%, over 40x since October of 2023. So definitely keep them on your radar, guys. They're doing incredible things. And we'll keep you updated with what's going on with the HBAR Foundation. But HBAR's chart, in the short term, obviously it looks bearish, but in the macro on the weekly stochastic RSI, this is great opportunity, in my opinion, to back up the truck. Again, not financial advice. I'm not telling you what to buy or sell. Crypto is very risky. You could lose money in these markets. And these videos are purely for education, informational purposes only. I just make these videos purely for fun. So you should always do your own research, consult your own financial advisor, because all that I do is talk about the facts. And if you get wrecked, then that's your own fault. Look at the Bitcoin stock to flow model right here, based on the days until the next halving. Guys, when you look at the chart, this has happened every single bull run. This time's not different, right? A lot of people say that this time's different. Well, it's playing out very similar to past every single time. And I've said this so many times over the past year that when Bitcoin halves, it takes anywhere from 3 months to 12 months after Bitcoin's halving to go up. And so we're doing exactly what we did back last bull run. Of course, the chart looks a little different each time, but look at the bull run prior to the previous one, going from 2016 to 2018. We consolidated for a while. We saw this dip in the market, and then we went up. And if I zoom in for you, this is what it looked like when we go from purple to red to orange to yellow to light green. Then we top out all the way over here past yellow. Same thing for the bull run prior to that. When we go from purple to red, we consolidate sideways for an extended period of time, and then we start to break out. And it's not until we get after yellow to light green that we see the top in the market. Now look at 2020 to 2021, same thing. When we go from purple to red, we consolidate sideways for a period of time. Then we start to break out, going into yellow, and then light green is the top of the market. So where are we right now? Well, we just went from purple to red. We went through the halving. After we go from red, we go to orange. What do? Well, based on what I showed you at the beginning of this video, based on Tether's market cap dominance, 11 out of 11 times we've gone up. And so there's massive confluence here, massive similarities to the past. And I think we're going to experience a massive breakout because the Fed is about to pivot, start issuing quantitative easing again, lowering their interest rates. Now, I do also think that's going to cause a massive crash depending on how rapidly they drop rates. And we also have an inverted yield curve, so that enters in the chat its own set of problems here. But I think before we see that crash happen, we see a massive parabolic blow off top for the crypto market. And if we look at this chart right here, the Bitcoin Rainbow Price Chart Indicator, based on where we are from fire sale to maximum bubble territory, well, if I were to zoom in right here, we're in like close to buy. We're pretty much in the accumulate or strong buy, right? It's not a fire sale, but it's a strong buy signal in this light blue right here. Once we get to green, that's accumulate, then light green is still cheap. So as long as we're down in these three zones right here, sub, beneath 100K, then what do? Well, it's either a fire sale, it's a buy, or it's an accumulate. So sometimes investing is just so dumb, stupid, simple that you just dumb it down like me, because I'm kind of a dummy, and you just make money. You know, I became a millionaire before 30 because I look at stuff like this. I'm like, oh, what does this tell me? Oh, this tells me to buy. What does this tell me? Oh, we're still in red. Well, what happened last time we were in red? Oh, we were right here on the chart. What happened when we went to orange? Oh, we went up. What happened when we went to yellow? We still went up. Even though there were these pullbacks, I don't care. What happened the time before then? What happened the time before then? same thing. We consolidated sideways, we'll go to orange, we went up, then yellow, we went up, then light green, we hit the top. So don't overcomplicate it, guys. You don't need to be the smartest person in the world to make money in the crypto market. You just need to look at what the emotional sentiment is. And generally speaking, if it's max fear, that's the best time to accumulate. If it's max greed, that's the best time to get out. Viewership overall across YouTube is down right now because the fair weather fans are leaving when it's actually the best time to start learning about crypto, getting in the truck, backing it all the way in the bank, grabbing the bags, packing them and stacking them, leaving no bags left behind because we believe the spending power of the dollar is going to keep going down in value. That's a fact based on inflation, blockchain technology, distributed ledger technology, cryptocurrencies, and now traditional stock market investors are going to be piling into the market. Over time, that's the truth. And together, we're going camping on the beaches of the moon. I'll see you guys in the next video. I will see you on bullrunners.com, where you'll discover how to earn more crypto in less than 10 minutes per day with the #1 play to earn XRP game. If you guys want to check this out, go to that. That's what I'm doing to earn an extra 1,000 to 2,000 XRP per day. Link will be in the description below. Or you can go to bullrunners.com, put in your best email address. You'll be instantly subscribed to our daily video newsletter to receive value-based videos like this. And on the other side, you'll be able to get started right now in literally less than 10 minutes. You watch this 8-minute video. We'll show you how to get your XRP wallet, how to get your game pieces, how to play the game, and then how to withdraw your crypto rewards each and every single day to be able to earn from the #1 liquidity pool in the world on the XRP ledger and the #1 play to earn XRP game. So with that being said, I appreciate you guys. I will see you on the next video. I will see you on bullrunners.com. As always, you know what to do. Stay bullish.